Khan. Hey, Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. Hey, first and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Chakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salaki and peace and blessings to all you Wakim out there who pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as all you believers out there who believing on the gospel. And once again, as always, the Wadi Bashim Awashah for blessing us with opportunity to be back with another Thursday live. When we go into the news, couple of things that's been happening. Whether it's mainstream media prophecy within the nation of Israel, whatever it may be, but it's a lot happening, and as I said, in the end times, it will be a lot happening. Yahweh Shai said there's gonna be many fires before he come back. I'm thinking the second Ezra 14, how it says many great evils than we already seen gonna happen. And we definitely in that time to any unexpected event can happen at any time. But tonight we ain't got much. As I'm sure y'all seen apostles or brothers may have touched on it, a few of these things, but if not, Lord willing, it do be edifying as we go through it. But as the WHO, they back declaring health emergencies with the mpox, but now they adding along saying it's so bad that we need to start up the juice campaign again. People need to start drinking the juice. So we about to start see a lot of that in the news. Also, you have, as is prophecy, that Turkey want to join under Russia, which is according to Ezekiel the 38th chapter. But nowadays, that prophecy is known as BRICS, a BRICS alliance, where all these nations have joined under Russia to combat against the West, mainly NATO and America, mainly America. You see, but that's happening. You got EU citizens, they're on board. Lithuania, they with Russia. Got a school shooting, which we're gonna see more things like this as well, more events before the election happen. But as we're gonna play these two videos, a lot of these things are being said and done for laws to be passed by the so-called white man Esau Edom. To take away free speech, crack down on these social media sites, these websites such as YouTube, where people got a platform to say what they want to say against the government or against the deep state, as it would be, the plans of the elites. So they cracking down on that. So we'll see where that go, because who's saying the most things that's hurtful to the society? The prophets. And it's ultimately going to lead to the famine of the word. But other than that, Advertiser Pod, the floor is yours if you got anything.
No, we can get started.
Okay, con. Yeah, so we'll start right here with the RT News. Now, this was put out. This was put out a while back. Okay. So like this was put out a while back. I thought this was from today. So that was put out a couple of weeks ago.
They get you. Yeah, they get you like that.
Okay. So we ain't even got to go into that. Well, I'll read it.
Back is it?
Oh, it's from August 14th. That's a minute ago.
This year?
Yeah, this year. It's from this year.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'll read it just because we got in the title. I'll probably change the title though, just to, we ain't gonna go into it that much. But this from Salaki, this from August 14th. It says the WHO declares new public health emergency, which the mpox they said triggered in Africa. But what they doing, they're gonna push the juice efforts again, which this is what we know. This is what we know. So we ain't gotta stay on this long. We can move on, which is just a sign of many other diseases to come. And they're gonna say juice, but the first juice, that's why a lot of people are getting sick now, because of the first one. It ain't gonna stop. They gonna continue pumping these people like it's a flu shot or something like that. They're gonna make it yearly, maybe monthly, however it's gonna be, boosters and all. But we're gonna see it. They continue to push lockdowns and also this juice propaganda issue again as well. But Salaki on that, we can move on. from now. If you ain't got nothing to, to speak on that one, advertiser Paul.
Okay. Well, the thing is that probably came. That article probably was. Hey, Shalom, Makyam. But yeah, that probably came out at the onset of the whole impact scare. When they really decided to push it. But it's the atmosphere, the zeitgeist, if you will. That's the spirit of the times that we are in. All right. Jeremiah 28:8. I says, I'll grab it real quick. That the prophets before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries. Okay, I'm gonna read that right quick. All right, so this is Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 8. It says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. And now we're at this junction, right? This transitioning of kingdoms where we're coming out of the age of wickedness, the age of carnality, and we're going into the age of righteousness. All right, the age of spirituality. Spirituality is going to be back in the earth. Righteous spirituality. All right. Right now, the whole world is under that Isaiah 60 speaks about darkness covering the world and gross darkness the people. Right. That's that unrighteous spirit that's been dealing in the world. Where you got a part of the people that participate in the wickedness, and then the rest of the people under the spell of the wickedness, following the wickedness, being plagued and oppressed by the wickedness. But now again, we're at this transitioning where a kingdom of righteousness is coming. And anytime there was a transitioning of kingdoms, the Heavenly Father rose up prophets, with the major kingdoms. And this Edomite rulership is a major kingdom because it's global. You only had a few global kingdoms or empires throughout history, and that being you'd have to go back to Great Britain. No, Spain. I'm sorry. Spain was the first global empire, and then Britain. Hence the term, the sun never sets on the British Empire because they was worldwide. All right. And but that Spain was actually the first because they sent the conquistadors over to this side to conquer and take over South and Central America. But my point here is that the prophets have always
virulent,
been ordained and anointed, all right, to prophesy the downfall of whatever power was in existence. So this go around is no different. So we're going to be prophesying against this great country, this great kingdom, Babylon, under Esau, Edom, right? But it says of war and of evil and of pestilence. All right. So that article goes into the pestilence that they plan to bring out and use in the Hegelian dialectic to get you, as the article say, was going into, to get these people to take more inoculations. And that's evil. Inoculations are evil because you take that shit, you're gonna have a bad time. Evil goes back to the etymon of evil is bad time. And some people had such a bad time they gave up the ghost
Mm-hmm.
behind this juice. All right. So I mean, it ain't going away. So really, I mean, that article is still relevant, though it's from a month ago. It's still relevant because they you know they plan to inoculate humanity out of existence. This is the plans of the elite. So it's good to kind of keep articles like that fresh on people's mind because Babylon have you distracted easily. But yeah, you got it out.
Kind, yapa. And I see the brother Manazar as well posted this. He says Singapore to mandate 3-week quarantine at designated facility for patients infected with the new Mpox strain. And I had looked it
Right.
up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You see? So juice is coming, you know. Oh, I can't remember who said this. I'm gonna look for that article. It was a whistleblower came out and said that he was responsible for shipping Mpox vaccines. They would drive them in vans to the airport to then be loaded up on planes to go all around the world. But coming out of here, America, I'm gonna find that and I'll get it to you and maybe I don't know, you can put it in the comments or we could go into it next week. But yeah, they said that the vaccines have been shipped already, all right, in preparation for this. So yeah, man, I mean this, yeah, I mean you on time, shit, cause they getting ready to roll this thing out. And like we speak on every week, we don't know how it's gonna play out because it have so many avenues that they could go here in America concerning the election, but they could very well have a shutdown before the election and council. Well, they could either then at that point they could cancel elections or they could have do that mail-in ballot, mail-in vote shit, which would be easier for them to manipulate the vote or the outcome of the vote. So they could use this within the next month or so. This impacts and these quarantines. You might be seeing this, but like we always say with the first shutdown, it just came out of nowhere. No one was expecting that. So, it's the same here. What you got, Doc?
And I was just about to read a little bit of this, and I see Butters putting precepts on the comment board. That was it.
Yeah, I'm about to give me one. What you got?
Oh, I ain't got nothing. I was just gonna get what they had. You got it though.
Yeah, read some of them. Read some of them from the brothers.
All right, come. Let's see. Yeah, I get this real quick from the Elder Bakwasha Shalom. It's Micah 2:10. It says, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted." And that's what a lot of
Now,
our people don't see. They get comfortable in America. They got their mind set on the next couple of months. The Biden and hey, well, see, that's become sensitive words now. Biden and Harris campaign or so on and so forth, because as we're gonna play these videos, they cracking down on you can't even speak about what's going on with with that. But the point is a lot of our people focusing on who gonna run, who gonna win, to try to make it a better America. It's polluted. You got sicknesses running rampant, people just diseases, and they're trying to pump you with more diseases. Then at the same time, they're trying to work you. Then if not, if you ain't at work, they're trying to keep you in the house. This is not our rest. It says, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with the sore destruction." And that's what's going to happen to a lot of our people. You know, they're gonna get destroyed right here in America. All these things is gonna happen to these Babylonians and to these heathens. The Lord gonna give them right over to those same diseases, those same plagues, so on and so forth. You was about to, you want to say something on that one?
No, you got it. You broke it down.
Okay, I see the brother Manazar got the quarantine definition. It says, period, a ship suspected of carrying contagious diseases is kept in isolation. It says,
And when you go deeper into the etymon of it, because the core and it goes back to 40. So you would be isolated for up to 40 days or longer. That would be an actual quarantine. But I would have to look that up. I remember the Apostle Tahar going into that years ago on quarantine. It goes back to 40.
let's see. So we can find it. Okay, I don't know if you see something on here you want to speak on.
They may not have nothing on it.
Yeah, that's all good. But yeah, I got a couple more them brothers putting up. I don't know if this what you was talking about.
It could be.
Unless you said 14, like a fort, like.
Yeah, 40. Yeah, like a old English 800. A slit malt liquor. Bull.
God.
A 40. Yeah.
God. But let's see. I get one more. This the brother Yahweh, the second Ezra 8:50 says, for many great misery shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. Yep.
Yep, con.
Yeah, Elder Brother Quasha
Yeah,
said.
that's it. Yeah.
Yep.
For the space of 40 days.
Con. I read into a little bit. It says, now this was put out September 4th, so that was yesterday. At the water tower, Brother Manazar for that. It says Singapore will mandate a 3-week quarantine at a designated facility if close contacts of patients infected with the new MPOX strain are identified, as the city-state reintroduces the CV era curves in a bid to prevent local spread of the mutated virus. And what was the biggest so-called solutions to curb sicknesses? The juice. So as lockdowns coming back, guess what else coming with it? The juice. You had anything else on that other topic?
Yep, definitely. Oh no, you got it out.
Mm-hmm.
So it go back to Italy. It's Italian, Quaranta. Yep. Okay. But we can move on.
Okay. So yeah, as we see right here, another thing that's happening as far as prophecy goes, you have American allies, whether NATO or the EU, they will eventually want to separate themselves from America. Mainly these EU nations. But the thing is, you got Turkey, which is a part of NATO. They want to separate themselves and join BRICS. Which again, this is prophecy, and I got one real quick. That Obadiah 1 in the NLT. Because as it was said in Obadiah, as we're going to get, a part of Esau falling was these nations separating themselves, his allies doing deals behind his back. Ain't no telling what Erdogan, which is the the head of Turkey, who he been talking to? Russia. I heard Russia Putin say earlier that he backing Kamala. And he started with a smirk on his face, Elder Tazapah. He was like, yeah, we backing Kamala. Because he play like he's serious, but it's funny because it's like a slap in the face. He's like, yeah, we backing Kamala. All she do is smile. So I guess she doing good. But man, come on, man.
Yeah,
But,
they can get over.
mm-hmm.
You know, she ain't no threat to nobody.
God.
Yeah, if she got in office, I mean, Joe was bad, and it's hard to think it could get any worse, but she would be worse. You know, America under this whole last almost, well, a little over 3.5 years, America has been projecting weakness. You know, so if she was to get in the office, I mean, shit, look at Russia. Business been good for Russia. And they tried that, the little shit with Ukraine, but Russia on the business side and their economy is booming. Yeah, because the Europe, that is the West, they need Russia because Europe is that bottomless pit. They need either Ukraine or Russia. And guess what? Russia is about to take Ukraine. So they're going to have to see Russia one way or the other. So business is good. All the sanctions that the U.S. been putting on Russia is helped to catapult them. And they're at a surplus as far as their economy, where America is 35 trillion plus in a deficit, $35 trillion deficit. Russia is in the they're up. Russia is up. So yeah, anybody with a half an eye and a piece of an ear would know that shit. You want to get on the winning team, you better get with BRICS. So it's a rush to get on the winning team, get with the winning team. Everybody see that America right now is a sinking ship.
Yeah.
All right. And so for the elite to put Kamala in would, further cement Russia's position, because shit, right now the world superpower is China and Russia. Them two. So yeah, the last thing that any of these nations want to see is Trump come back. Trump play hardball. He's a businessman. He know how to get them deals going. And he gonna have motherfuckers paying for this, paying for that, tariffs on everything. He's a business-minded man. And so yeah, that's the last thing you want to see, is for America to start, or at least try to start, projecting strength again. But yeah, you got it out.
Yeah, here it is. Let me see if I can show it.
I go into this Ezekiel 38, because that's prophecy.
I'm gonna play the video
Okay.
too. It say Vladimir Putin endorses Kamala Harris for president of the United States. I'm gonna play this little quick clip, but you can see the smirk on his face the whole time.
Фаворитом, если можно так сказать, был действующий президент, господин Байден. Вот его сняли с гонки, но он рекомендовал всем своим сторонникам поддержать госпожу Харрис. Вот и мы тоже так сделаем, будем ее поддерживать. Это, во-первых. А во-вторых, раз завещали, значит надо, да? Во-вторых, она так выразительно и заразительно смеется, что это говорит о том, что у нее все хорошо. И, ну, я говорил, у нас, значит...
So yeah, you see, he going right along with it too, you know. As Klaus Schwab
Yeah.
said, we played a video of Klaus Schwab saying that last week that Putin been in their back. Yeah, they been had Putin in their back pocket. You know, the WEF. So Putin a puppet too. He going right along with it. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all a big ass game. It's just a big old game, man. The elites have, you know, since the Most High rose them up, they've always made sure that they control both sides of any conflict, war, whatever. You gonna read some of that one?
Well, I'll read a little bit of this article, and you could get that Ezekiel 38 because go right, roll right into to that Ezekiel 38.
Go
on. So this is it says NATO member Turkey says process is underway to join BRICS to join BRICS nations. It says Turkey has taken no concrete steps towards meeting its stated desire to join the BRICS group of emerging economies, but a process is underway. Omer Selik, a spokesman for Ruling Justice and Development Party, said on Tuesday. If admitted, Turkey will become the first NATO member. And again, remember, NATO is a part of the beast. You got NATO and the EU, which makes up the beast, and then you got America, that whore that's on top of it. So this is end time prophecy, the beast separating themselves from that whore. It says Turkey will
and that's part of the, well, I don't say part, that is a fulfillment of Daniel the 2nd chapter with the feet of part iron and part miry clay. It says because the sons of men were not going to cleave to them. And see, Turkey would be a son of men, and they not cleaving to the beast. So this is what makes it partly strong and partly weak, because the beast is NATO and EU, the EU. But you see, there's schisms within NATO. There's schism within the EU. And that's the fulfilling of Daniel the 2nd chapter with the feet and the toes.
I read a little bit more. It was a short read. It's a lot more articles. There's a lot more articles on it. This is like day ago news, like 4 days ago. I just typed it in, Turkey to join BRICS on Google just now. I got articles from a day ago, 16 hours ago, 2 days ago. Right? Matter of fact, I got Bloomberg typed in because that's the one I was looking at. But it's hot news right now. So see, 16 hours ago, 4 days ago, so on and so forth. It says Turkey bids to join BRICS and push to build alliances, and that's Erdogan right there, beyond the West. And again, remember, Turkey, what happened, what Israel and America did over there to those Palestinians, Turkey spoke up for them. They had a problem with that. Not many people did, but Turkey did. That's to show you they ain't with America no more, man. But you got it, Elder Taza Power.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, this is Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 1. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, you can go in, you can break it down, brother.
Come on.
All right. Verse 2, Son of man, set thy face against God, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him.
Right, which is Russia. You know, now again, though Russia go be used to destroy America, but the Lord against Russia too. Remember, the Russians still Edomites. And so that's why even what Hassad was saying, that Russia, you know, they're going to, you know, come out once we're in the kingdom and do something, but they Edomites as well. So once the system by way of America fall and his allies, Russia will be a part of it. But the Lord set his face against them too. We prophesying against them too. But this is what the Lord got to say about them. You got it. You can speak on, you know, whenever you want at any time.
Verse 3, and say, thus said the Lord power, Behold, I am against thee, O God, chief prince of Meshach and Tubal,
Mm-hmm.
and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company, with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords.
Right, and that's one thing we've been seeing over the years. Russia, hey, they've been boasting of they well, not just boasting, but showing it. They military, they missiles, those what's the ones that can go what about 30 minutes, 15 minutes? Hypersonic, the hypersonic missiles they
The
got,
hypersonic, yep.
they've been
They
boasting of
got
that.
they had the S-300. They upgraded that to a 400, and then I think now they got the S-500 series missiles. Now I've just seen an article yesterday or the day before saying that America is not ready for modern warfare, meaning all of their shit is outdated. America hasn't been updating or staying on the cutting edge of military breakthroughs and technology. You know, America is just exactly what it sells. One big ass wolf cookie. That's what America is. You know, you got what's that shit? God damn it. But you got all these big military contractors here in the US. These multi-billion-dollar companies, you know, and you would think that America was good to go. And maybe on some levels, yeah, but for an extended all-out conflict, America is not prepared.
Mm-mm.
You know, they're spending all their money in other countries. But yeah, that's what the Lord's saying in verse 4, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, because under Gorbachev, 1991, the USSR, the old Soviet Union, was broken up. Okay, and this is what the Lord saying: I'm gonna turn you back. I'm gonna put that Soviet Union back together. I'm gonna put hooks in your jaws to turn you back to that old USSR. All right. And again, as I said earlier, Russia will take Ukraine, because that's a part of fulfilling of this prophecy of the Lord turning them back, because Ukraine was a part of the USSR.
That's right.
So all these things are coming together for the grand finale, the big show. The big showdown is getting ready to go down. The showdown is getting ready to go down. And we ain't talking years.
That's right.
We're talking months at best. At this stage, it could be weeks, because we just that close, man. But we see the Lord putting hooks in Russia jaws. We see them coming forth with their army, horses and horsemen. We see that. They came over here. We spoke on it.
Man.
You remember that?
Yep.
They came right to the shore, right to Cuba. And big flex.
Submarines and all that.
Yeah, with subs and warships. Flexing big. And went right home just the same way they came, unscathed, untouched, not even worried about nobody doing shit. That's them coming forth with their horses and horsemen. That was a show of power in preparation for war. They was doing war preparation. the reason they went to Cuba. That whole thing was an act of war. And America worried about pronouns.
Man.
And tampons in the boys' restroom. This is the issues and abortion. A woman's right to choose is her body, her choice. These are the things that's going on here while war is being set up and prepared for this place. But yeah, it says
It's like if I made Tazapa.
Go ahead. What you say?
I said so like if I made, just to add on to what you said, because you said America ain't ready for war. You know, they weaponry behind. And remember, Scott Ritter said that a couple of weeks ago. I believe it was him. He said that the American artillery is far behind. They boasting on stuff that was made back in the early 2000s. While these other nations like China and Russia far surpassed them. But that's a spiritual say that because Shamala, he put in a chat this morning this article right here from End Time Headlines. And the title says, America isn't ready for another war because it doesn't have the troops.
Yeah, and then the troops. I saw that. I saw that too. Yeah. But you can go in.
Now, I was just about to mention it. You know what? That's according to prophecy, even because in Jeremiah, it says even the little troops they will have, they're going to be scared to fight. See, all these nations really preparing themselves, like I said about Goliath. These other nations got warriors that was trained to be warriors since their youth, discipline and all that since their youth.
Yep.
Not America. Niggas just want to go to the army for benefits and a charger or a scat pack, and then you got other people who want to go because the military said if you come, we'll pay for your gender reassignment. It's free. It's on us. They ain't really fighting for nothing. And we gonna see that, man.
Yep.
But that's one thing. And also to hit on Ezekiel 38, we can go back to it because it says the Lord said, I'm gonna put a hook in their jaw and turn them back, back in that Soviet Union spirit. Hey, along with those other nations who was right there with them, like you mentioned, Ukraine. Remember, some of those EU countries were a part of that as well. So we see why they're gonna want to separate from America and the West, because the Lord will turn them back. But also, I want to read this real quick. I'm gonna go into it fully, just make mention of it. I'll put it in the chat. But one thing that Russia have to boast on, they got this system built that is called Operation Dead Hand. And it was built as a Soviet Union built nuclear doomsday device, just to show the Lord got his hand in all this. Because what this is that if America or any other nation let their missiles off first without Russia getting the opportunity to, and if Russia get hit, soon as another country let their missiles off, is going to trigger some type of reactors and for ICBMs. And no matter what, if nobody push a button, that's why it's dead hand. It's automated. Nobody don't have to push a button. Nobody don't, push the fuck, nobody got to push the button. It's going to let off itself. Every single missile that's in Russia going to let off, even if somebody shoot them at them first. And this was built back in the Soviet Union, showing the Lord even got one of the main devices they're going to use was built back in that time, the USSR. But I'll put that in the chat though, so bros could check that out. But yeah, you got it, Elder Tazapa.
All right. Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 4. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company, with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya, with them, all of them with shield and helmet.
Now check this out. Going back to this article, not to cut you off, but it says, after starting in the early 2000s as investor shorthand for the emerging nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and you got South Africa, that make up BRICS. And then you got Saudi Arabia, Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia. That was one of them in Ezekiel 38, right? It says
Con,
Ethiopia. Ethiopia, that's one of them. So go back to the article. It says who else? Iran. That's another one because before Iran changed its name to Iran, it was called Persia. So
that's
Persia,
right.
Iran. Then you got Libya, which is, Libya's still Libya. But a lot of these African countries are joining themselves under Putin as well. We showed the picture a while back. Putin standing in the front like, Suge Knight and that all the African leaders behind him. But that's Ezekiel 38. And then this next part, verse 6, that's what Turkey come in at, man. So again, this end time prophecy, whether it's something big that shake up the world or something slight like this, where a president of a country want to switch from being allies of America and want to go to BRICS. All these things gonna fall into something happening, man. That's the point. But it says in the United Arab Emirates, joined this year. But it says Turkey participated in BRICS in 2008, but it goes into how you want to join. But I just want to get that to show it's not just Turkey, but Persia, Ethiopia, and even these African countries, they fulfilling a part of this prophecy as well.
Definitely. Con. So again, Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 5. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya, with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee.
Right, and that's Turkey, man. When you look at that map, that's their region of Turkey today. If you look at an ancient map, but again, showing even and somebody like this in the world skip over this. If they look, even if they're looking at the news, people don't even look at news nowadays. If it ain't drama or something to do with a reality TV show, but they'll just flip over articles like this. But this is a big deal right here because you know what? If this happened before all hell break loose, this is gonna trigger a lot of other people switching over. If some event or emergency don't make it happen.
Verse 7. Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and that's it. That's what we're saying. That's the reason why a lot of people back in Russia, on Russia's side, want to join BRICS is because prophecy say so, not because Putin doing anything. It's prophecy.
That's it. Yep. So
I
it only makes sense according to prophecy, right? It only makes sense that Turkey would want to get down with BRICS. Prophetically speaking. Like you mentioned, Ethiopia and Libya, even Iran, they all looking to get in. Is Iran in yet? Or they?
Iran, yeah, they should be in there. Let me see. Let me make sure. I know we just read it. South Africa joined a year later, making it BRICS. And Saudi Arabia, Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran. Yep, because remember they joined at the beginning, and the UAE joined at the beginning of this year. Boom.
This year, okay. Ethiopia and Iran.
Man.
Prophecy. Right? Because like you had brought it out. Persia, before it was Iran, they were the ancient Persians. All right. In 1935, the name was changed for whatever reason. I'm not sure, from Persia to Iran. And it might have been due to the coup that the CIA pulled. I believe that was Operation Ajax.
I'll read it for you. It's a quick Google. It says, yes, the name of the country Persia was officially changed to Iran on the Persian New Year of March 21st, 1935, by Reza Shah Pahlavi or Pahlavi. The new name was a deliberate attempt to reconnect with Iran's ancient past and to distance itself from colonial legacies.
Okay, calm, brother. The water.
But that was it on. Yeah, you had anything else?
Yeah, no, that was the point right there. I wanted to go into how it was set up by the Most High from the beginning with Turkey for them to get under Russia or get with Russia. You know, just as Persia / Iran and Ethiopia and Libya. You know, they all fixing to get under that umbrella of BRICS, or at least try to. And even if they say, well, we're not going to let Turkey in BRICS, Russia still got to be a guard into it. Russia still going to have their back. They still going to have their alliance. But yeah, brother.
And we ain't gonna read into this one, but this one came out today. Earlier today, it says EU, which again, a lot of countries who are part of nations who are part of the beast. It says EU state, which this is talking about Lithuania if you read it, but just pushing into that energy of how people are moving away from America and going towards Russia. And you know that because of why it's prophetic. And I'm gonna get that Obadiah and we can move on. But it says EU state confirms the citizens fighting for Russia. So you got the people with it too, the people on board. It says multiple Lithuanian citizens are fighting in the Ukraine conflict on Russia's side. Defense minister, and this goes into turning them back, hooks into the Lord bringing all that area, the spirit back. It says Laurenus Kasunius has stated, and he went on to accuse them of crimes against the state. Right, but again, this is prophecy because I'm gonna get this in Obadiah. Now, this is a judgment against Edom. Granted, these Russians are Edomites as well, but the Lord is using these people to take down America, amongst other ways, but the Lord is using them to spearhead it amongst the nations. Now, this is Obadiah chapter 1, and I'm gonna read this in the NLT, just to show all this is a part of prophecy. Obadiah 1 and verse, I'm gonna start at 6, so we know who we're talking about. It says in the NLT, every nook and cranny of Edom, the so-called white man, will be searched and looted. Every treasure will be found and taken. Check this out. It says all your allies will turn against you. And that's we got an example with this article, Turkey. They prepared and the process underway for them to turn from America, turn from the so-called white man Esau Edom. You was about to say something?
No, I was just saying calm.
For reasons like what? Nahum, just like you had back then with Nineveh, but you had the skirt being lifted. How I described that, your skirt being lifted, the nation sin your shame, don't want to have nothing to do with you. They know you lying. All you gonna do is lie, put sanctions on them if they don't agree with you.
Fuck them over. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, look, he tired. He
Screw him over.
Yeah, Erdogan tired of it. What is Obadiah 1 and verse 7 in the NLT? It says, all your allies will turn against you. And this link right up with Revelation 17. It says when it says how I believe it say the
verse 11.
Yep, that's it. What it says, all your allies will turn against you. They will help to chase you from your land. They will and look, this is the thing. They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. That's important because although a lot of stuff, with American allies not on the mainstream media, don't mean they ain't already talking to Russia. Don't mean they just because it's just Turkey being reported that they want to go to BRICS. How many other American allies in talks? You may have somebody like, I don't know, another nation a part of NATO hitting Erdogan up. Man, what Putin said. You know what deals they doing? Like who knows how that going? But the point is, America, they have allies plotting against them behind their back. Nobody with them people. Oh, it had another article came out. I believe a brother put in the chat, but it says how the nations are in disagreement. Something condemning, Israel and America for what they done. I forget where I seen it at, but that's also a part of it. Your inhumane activities that you taking part in with Israel. A lot of people don't agree with that, but they not coming out and saying it for the sake of you and Israel retaliating, however that go. But they doing these things behind the scenes, though, man. And again, we know it's prophecy, so it gotta happen. It says they will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. Your trusted friends will set traps for you, and you won't even know about it. Yep. That was it.
Yeah, I got that Revelation. It's Revelation chapter 17, verse 16. It says, okay, yeah, no, I go into something else. Salaki.
I know I got one to know how to they go turn and burn the whore.
Yeah. The 10 horns though, that don't apply to Turkey.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's EU.
Yeah, the EU, right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's the EU.
I want to pull this up. So this is NATO member. So if we start seeing, some of these countries being spoke about want to separate themselves, remember that's prophecy. So it says alphabetical list of NATO member countries. That is from the NATO website. You got Albania, Belgium, Bulgaria, Canada, Croatia, Czechia, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Iceland, Italy, Latvia, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Montenegro, Netherlands, North Macedonia, Norway, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Slovakia, Slovenia, Spain, Sweden, Turkey, the UK, and the US. And EU members, you got the likes of Austria, Belgium, Bulgaria, Croatia, the Czech Republic, Denmark, Estonia, France, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Ireland, Italy, Latvia, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Poland, Portugal, Romania, so on and so forth, But so if we start hearing stuff about them coming against America, want to separate themselves, remember that's prophecy. That's prophetic. You had anything else on that on those two topics?
You can move on.
Con. So this next one, and this role, all this kind of going to the same thing, a crackdown on free speech, because stuff like this gonna be used. Now we in election time, we're gonna see more sicknesses, more fear tactics, and even that, as we're gonna go on, they narrowing that down. We can't even really. They're gonna make it a point that nobody could say nothing about the election as it's coming up. Nobody can say nothing about the government. But also this TERROR is thing. Now, it was a couple months ago that they said that AI, was able, or some system they had could detect those people who like to commit mass acts. We got to use our words, mass acts early. And they was putting them on hate pages, just like, they got the Israelites, the Hebrew Israelites on hate group pages, so on and so forth. But they make these claims that people are, terror, ISTs.
Right. Enthusiasts.
Right. So they'll make that claim and say, oh, see, we knew it. See, we knew it. We knew it a year ago. If we would have made the move a year ago. But now look what happened. He killed 4 people, 2 teachers and students. So they go and you can see Esau is, man, the Lord got him like naked. Everything he do, you can see the BS in it. And it's gonna be a lot of fake news, propaganda things he's gonna put out. A lot of stuff about to happen, gonna be said and can't be said. But they're gonna have these things set up as if, look, we have reports, we've been knew it, and if we don't act on it, situations like this can happen. But that's just giving him a green light. Remember, we went into Daniel 5 last week. They're gonna make laws just to, well, also Isaiah the 10th chapter, but they're gonna make certain laws to further push their agenda. But they're gonna say, look,
Exactly.
we got a green light. You want to say something?
No, exactly. Go ahead.
They gonna want to say, look, we had a group, the red light on this group, a red flag on this group, or this person. We don't want it like last time. So now they're gonna have an excuse to make a move without people doing stuff. They're gonna have an excuse to make a move because the intelligence go tell them so. In science. But as you see right here from End Time Headlines, it says suspect, and if a brother can, I don't know if a brother posted it, we ain't ignorant of Satan devices, Baba Kashah. But it says suspect in deadly Georgia high school shooting was flagged to FBI over a year before murders. And this line up with how when somebody do commit an act, they'll say, oh, we found a manifesto, and they'll agree with this and that. And just so happen their agreements line up with a lot of groups who are against America, or groups as the Hebrew Israelites. So now they can say, see, people who got this mindset, they do stuff like this. And just group everybody together. Come on. It says, So like, I'm a little excited. It says the FBI has confirmed that the alleged shooter who killed 2 students and 2 teachers and wounded 9 others and look, more stuff probably gonna come out about this as well. It says at a Georgia high school Wednesday has been on its radar as possible threat since last year. It says in a joint statement, the FBI Atlanta field office and Jackson County Sheriff's Office said the agency's National Threat Operations Center received an anonymous tip about threats posted online regarding a possible school shooting in May 2023. The agency said the threats contain images of guns. So again, and as we play this, we ain't got to read more on this. Other times of pop, you got a point, you got it, but they're using this to say, see what these social media platforms allowing people to put online, what they allowing people to say on YouTube and Brighteon. We can't have that. We just got to take it off in a hole. And that's what these next videos go into. You want to say something before we hop into the vids?
Yeah, I just say they're going after your rights, which that's the biggest threat to them bringing in their new world order is people being armed with either literal weaponry or being armed with truth. And so, with these incidents, they can go after both your freedom of speech and your freedom or your right to bear arms. Because at the same time, they'll say, I see it in people's faces. It's like, they disgusted by these school shootings. So I mean, you can see them gearing up to go after the guns and go after the free speech via the social media platform. So that's their biggest threat. Is they got to stay in the dark for their shit to work because they are the devil, the elite. They are the devils. Devil going back to Diablo being deceiver. For them to deceive you, you can't be armed with knowledge. And then for them to try to strong arm you, which is what they plan to do. This is why Isaiah 59 and 19 speaks about when the enemy shall come in as a flood. You know, they want as little opposition as possible, you know, and then be able to tell people, yeah, we had to deal with him. We had to lay him down because he was being belligerent. He was insubordinate, you know, which we know the contrary, but they want to be able to do whatever they want to do and tell the people anything. Is my point. But go ahead, brother.
So like my mic was muted, but I get
Yeah.
this real quick.
Uh-huh.
Spiritual Arc 144K, 2 Corinthians 20:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And a lot of stuff Esau gonna do is gonna be, smoke and mirrors, distractions, and he gonna be doing his real thing behind, closed doors, as he would think. Which the Lord, he ain't got no more closed doors. Esau, he got them wide open.
Right. That's right. It's time for him to be revealed. Go ahead.
And that's exactly why you got to crack down. So we can go ahead and play this video. Now, this from Neil McCord. We ain't play him on the channel in a minute. Now, he did this 6 hours ago. So it's hot news. It says his title is Massive Media and Government Crackdown Overnight.
Walk and talk. Although you'll see we're not going to be walking today, we're going to be sat in the car, but it is beautiful. Let me just show you the view here a second.
Nice, real nice.
And it is ridiculously hot in the car today, but it's one of those catch-22s. If I turn the AC on, it comes over the audio, makes it really loud. If I open the windows, the wind blows through and shakes the car. So let's get the sunglasses on because it is bright and it is beautiful. So let's go over some of the big stories today then. And the biggest one is around, well, they're really tightening the net at the moment with the media in the US. Some of the stuff coming out is pretty unbelievable. So let's start with the big story then. The US is accusing Russia of interference now in the 2020.
I just want to say this other times of pie, and I'm gonna just let him speak. That's one thing. Now we've been hearing too is that a lot we'll hear free speech crackdown in China, or what we've been seeing over a couple of weeks in the UK, how they've been jailing people, putting people in jail because of they saying stuff against the immigrants or the government. But now the United States, America is next. America is next.
Yeah.
Everybody gonna just be saying what they want to for long.
The 2024 US election. So the Biden administration is accusing them of this interference. And this is as a result, they're calling it a mass propaganda campaign, unlike anything seen since World War II, involving fake news sites, with the Justice Department seizing 32 internet domains. They are saying it is being used to spread misinformation, including negative polling of Biden, helping to push up Trump's approval rating. 2 Russia-based employees of state-controlled media outlet RT were charged with conspiracy and money laundering for their role in a $10 million scheme to promote pro-Russian content aimed at what they say is creating divisions within the US electorate. And they're saying the main thing that these sites and a lot of the people who have been promoting this have been doing is reducing support for Ukraine, especially around sending weapons and aid to Ukraine. I mean, some of the stuff is somewhat laughable. They're saying that without this misinformation and propaganda campaign, that US voters would be heavily behind sending all of this aid. No, I don't think it would make a difference, in all honesty. So there has been this massive, massive crackdown then on media overnight. I mean, this looks like it's going to be a real big one, so something to keep our eyes on. But this gets even deeper because the DOJ has now accused a number of conservative influencers. This includes Tim Pool, Benny Johnson, as well as loads and loads of other influencers, of working with Tenet Media, which allegedly received $10 million. And I use the word allegedly because that's what it says here, from Russian state media RT as part of a huge propaganda.
Now, one thing he's saying is that what he's saying is that the government is saying a lot of these people who's speaking out conservatives, people, who for Trump or whoever it may be, but who's speaking out against the government, what they saying is their excuse to make a move. They got to be paid off by Russia or something. They got to be on Russia's side. They got to be with them. As if look, and they're accusing Russia of having a hand in the 2024 elections, which ain't come yet. But why they saying that so early? So people can already go into it with the mindset of that this ain't gonna be no fair election, and whoever lose, they're gonna feel cheated and want to riot regardless if we make it to an election. But what they saying is that a lot of people speaking out, they could be either not just against the government itself, but on Russia's, however it may be. But they're making excuses, And we'll play this next one because his next video he gonna say a little more. Mike Adams.
Now, the Tenet Media founder, this is Lauren Chen, who is somewhat of an influencer herself, I think you could say, although somewhat left-wing. It's being claimed that she deceived, or at least this is what they're saying. They're saying that they were deceived by her. I mean, the whole thing is weird in the first place, if you ask me. And actually, I get these sort of requests all the time. I must get 3 or 4 every single day to promote something or other. And what do I always say? I think you'll know the answer to this. I always say, no, thank you. And the reason why is because, and again, this is so far out there that I would have never seen this come in. But the reason I don't promote any of this stuff is because you just never know what's going to happen. I learned a valuable lesson when I saw a lot of the finance influencers were promoting all the crypto channels and platforms. And then that all went really, really badly. There was a massive fraud and everything else. And it really hit those.
I'm going to go to this one. Now it says, were Tenet Media influencers tricked into a deep state honeypot trap?
Let's talk about the DOJ indictment that was just handed down. As part of what the DOJ claims is a Russian... Now, yeah, this sounds exactly like the 2016 election, Russia, where they made up all this nonsense accusations against Trump, claiming he was run by Russia. This really smacks of that. But here are the facts of their indictment, which I read in detail. They're indicting apparently 2 Russian nationals that, if I understand it correctly, have some kind of links to RT. And according to the DOJ, these Russian nationals, they hid their identities and they took on the names of other people who were not Russian. And they made like fake resumes and fake contacts and everything. And then using that, they reached out to this company in Tennessee, which appears to be the Tenet Media company that handles a lot of like outspoken, trending conservative content creators, content influencers like Tim Pool, most notably, and Lauren Southern, and some other prominent people as well. And apparently there's a woman named Chen who is part of this the Tenet Media company. I don't know who she is. I think she and her husband run it together. That's my best guess. Again, I'm going off of the DOJ's indictment, which didn't fully paint the whole picture. So, innocent until proven guilty, folks. By the way, this whole thing looks like a political hit job. Looks like a setup to me. Just in time for election season to claim that, the Russians are buying off influencers in the U.S. But anyway, the DOJ indictment apparently indicts these 2 Russian nationals who, again, impersonated other people and tricked the Tenet Media company in Tennessee into thinking that Tenet was being paid to produce content. And apparently they received up to or close to $10 million over time to produce content and to distribute this content on YouTube and a lot of other places.
He said YouTube. Now remember, they're using all these people for excuses because look, the profits on these same platforms is the point. It ain't just that they doing these things to shut up conservatives. No, the profits are putting lessons out on these same platforms.
This content was...
You got anything at the Pop before we continue?
No, you good.
Come on.
Also distributed on TikTok and some other platforms. I don't know all the platforms. It's basically all the platforms where I'm banned. It's where the content got distributed. So anyway, the allegation of the DOJ is that, this is a Russian influence operation. These Russians paid off this U.S. media company to produce this content. Now, as far as I can tell, the content, it wasn't like pro-Kremlin content at all. It was just content mostly about America, talking about, probably transgenderism and the open borders and, inflation. And some of the content was about Ukraine versus Russia. But, there's plenty of room for criticism over there with NATO's problems. I mean, I've been very critical of NATO and what's going on there, Doesn't mean I'm pro-Putin or anything. I'm just saying, hey, we've been lied to about a lot of things. Anyway, so this company, apparently Tenet, it's not named in the DOJ indictment, but it's pretty certain that it's Tenet. And Tim Pool already put out an announcement in defense. He says, if indeed these allegations are true, then we are the victims, he says, that we were tricked, we were deceived by whoever these two indicted people are. They tricked us into thinking that they were somebody else. And that appears to be, the case. I think Tim Pool is absolutely correct in that. The DOJ claims that they got a hold of a contract between Tenet and these Russian nationals who, again, pretended not to be Russian. But this contract apparently, according to the DOJ indictment, offers content in exchange for money. Well, that's not an unusual arrangement for some company to be hired to create content. I mean, that's what movie studios do. They're a studio. Well, they hire directors and actors to produce content, to produce a movie. And, podcasters are paid all the time, mostly by sponsors. I mean, I have sponsors for my podcast. Of course, I'm very open about who they are. Like, here's the satellite phone company, or here's a sponsor, maybe our own store, or maybe a gold retailer or somebody. I'm always very, open about who the sponsors are. And by the way, there's no like foreign money coming to me to tell me, what to say. But I think even the Tenet company, I don't think that it doesn't look like that this foreign money controlled what they said. It looks like it was just, hey, we'll pay you to produce content that's popular. And that's what they did. And as Tim Pool said in his statement, like, nobody had approval over his content other than him. I mean, he decided what to say. He decided what guests to have on and so on. So I agree with Tim Pool that if indeed, if Tenet is the company that's involved in this DOJ, indictment, but Tenet wasn't indicted, just to be clear, and Tim Pool wasn't indicted. But if that's the company, Tim Pool's completely innocent. Lauren Southern, totally innocent. I think Benny Johnson, innocent. I think there's another man. Is it Dave Rubin? Innocent. These people, they had no knowledge. Even if they took money to produce content, they had no knowledge that it was Russians, because the Russians intentionally deceived everybody by changing their identities and trying to trick people. So I actually wonder if it's not actually Russians claim Russian influence over, conservative influencers. The timing is highly suspicious to me. And what the left to be people pretending to be Russians so that they could announce this right before the election and claim Russian influence over, conservative influencers. The timing is highly suspicious to me. And what the left-wing media is doing with this is so predictable. It's just like 2016. It's just like the whole first term of the Trump administration, which we all know turned out to be a total hoax. So I would not be surprised if this was actually a deep state honeypot trap. And by honeypot trap, what I mean is, a lot of people who are, let's say, YouTubers, if somebody comes to them and says, hey, we'll give you $10,000 an episode to produce episodes, an hour each, 10 grand. And you can choose the topic. You don't have to do what we just make sure it's, controversial and, clickbaity or whatever. Like, just make sure it's going to get a lot of eyeballs. That's all. Just make sure it's controversial. Most people would take that money. Most people would take that money. I wouldn't take that money, and I don't. Nobody pays me to produce anything. I mean, we're supported by you, our viewers, or our sponsors, both, or our store sales. But given how difficult our economy is, and inflation, food inflation, and skyrocketing prices of insurance and everything, a lot of people are in a lot of financial hardship. And if somebody approaches them and says, here's 10 grand or 50 grand, or in some cases, some of these influencers can earn, a couple $100,000 an episode. I mean, you tell me, wouldn't most people in the world take 50 grand per episode and maybe not ask very many questions about where that money came from? As long as it wasn't the United Arab Emirates.
That's pretty much the point. The point was when he said, because he built on the point how you got this tenant media company and how the American government making a point that you have a lot of influencers paid off, whether by Russia or they just saying it, that to push a lot of information out there against America, anti-America. So they're making an excuse to why this is why we got to shut down sites like social media. This is why we got to shut down sites like YouTube. And one thing he said is YouTube. But again, who else on YouTube saying worse than what these people saying? The prophets. They don't say as harsh and come with truth like the prophets do. So if they make an excuse to shut down these platforms, then what? That's a push towards the famine of the word. I see the elder book.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You got it.
No, I'm just thinking, man, this coming what, about 3 weeks after Scott Ritter's home was raided by the FBI, right? And the reason behind that was because of his work with RT.
Yep.
So it could be something to that. It's something to keep an eye on.
He sure is right, huh? About that Scott Ritter stuff.
Yeah, it could be, well, it's definitely something to keep an eye on, but it might be worth looking into. But yeah, I ain't had nothing.
I just got one more precept, and that's pretty much it. That was it. This Isaiah 29, I start at 20. It says, for the terrible one is brought to naught, and the most terrible is Esau Edom. And we at the time where he's been brought to naught, it says, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off. And this is what he's gonna do as he falling and truth coming out about him. This is what he's gonna do, and this is what we seeing. He's just building a case right now to make him, or as he would think, to be justified in shutting off truth. But it says, verse 21, that make a man an offender for a word, and that lay a snare for him that reproveth in a gate. So he's setting traps for brothers, for prophets, even these people who so-called free speech, they freedom of speech. Because just like YouTube, they go put certain guidelines into where you can't say this, can't say that, you can't talk about this topic, the small hats, and they're gonna make traps like that. So if you do, your page could get cut. Things gonna get worse as we get closer to the end. It says that make a man an offender for a word, and they lay a snare for him that reproveth in a gate, and that turn aside the jest for a thing of naught. But that was all. That was pretty much it.
God.
In fact, I'll put both of those videos in the
I'll bring
chat.
this idea. I'll go out with Amos. This is Amos chapter 8, verse 11. Behold, the days come, said the Lord power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Yeah, so there's gonna come a famine of the hearing of the word. No more that bread that came down from heaven. No more of them living waters that'll be readily accessible to people. That's why the Lord says, seek him while he may be found. Because the days are getting dark And it's about to get real dark soon, you know. And if you ain't got the light in that darkness, it ain't gonna be nowhere to go to get it. All right, so yeah, all the disrespecting men, shortchanging men, downplaying men, all that's gonna come to a stop. Men overall are gonna become valuable, but none more so than the men of the Lord. Because we're gonna be out here with the light. And not that we're gonna be like, hey, look at me, I'm over here. No, we gonna take our light, we gonna use our light for us and our families.
Mm.
That's the brethren and your your wife, if you got one of your children. They're the ones gonna get the benefit from the light of the men of the Lord. You know, and maybe some of them women that's gonna take hold, them 7 women that's gonna take hold of brothers. So it will be some women that get to partake in the light of the elect. But yeah, nobody values a flashlight until it's a blackout. Because they'll sit in the drawer or in the cabinet and get dusty. The battery will go dead in it. You have to check your battery. But when that power go out, that's the first thing you're gonna be looking for. Well, now you got the phones, but the first thing you're gonna look for is some light, a source of light. So, hey, seek the Lord while he may be found. And that's all I got to say. A famine of the word is coming right around the corner here shortly. So this man fixing to make he about to make his move. So I'll let you take us out.
Hey, with that, we'll go ahead and end it right there, Lord willing. This lesson was edifying, but there's a lot going on. So, Lord willing, the Most High Yahweh Shemel Shah allow us to continue to update as things happen. But with that, once again, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Yachakash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to all you Akim out there who pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as all you believers out there who believing on the gospel. Keep fighting, keep pushing, and we're almost out of here. And again, the water to all you Akim for the beautiful precepts, and the water for tuning in.
That's right.
And with that, cheers, shalom.